I wasn't in a car. If you find evidence of me being in a car, then bring me in and Raz and detain me and we'll talk.
And that's why we started speaking with you, because of that.
You can't detain me to figure out if I committed a crime. You're a freaking sergeant.
On January 14th, 2022, a First Amendment auditor who films public buildings, we'll call him Mr. Press, was in Burlington, North Carolina. He'd already filmed inside City Hall and filed a public records request with no trouble at all. Then he moved over to the Burlington Police Department and started recording the patrol vehicles parked in the lot. Welcome to Badge Done Right, where we spotlight law enforcement done right. If you're new here, hit subscribe and join us. Now let's get into the story.
Tires are mostly in good shape. Can't tell entirely, but they're, generally speaking, they seem to be good tires. Hi!
What are you doing?
Just checking out my employees. What's up? What's your name, badge number?
Delgado.
Delgado, you have a badge number?
I don't.
Okay.
What's your name?
I'm not gonna give that.
So what are you doing?
Just checking on the Burlington employees and seeing if you guys are doing a great job.
About
You're
looking
keeping,
through the cars?
Yeah, I want to make sure you're keeping the officers safe with like good tires and you're not leaving out passwords to NCIC. What's that?
Come speak with us.
You said I need to?
Yes, sir. You're actually trespassing unless you actually have something.
You want me to or I need to? It's hard.
Do you have any business back here? This is only police personnel only.
Yeah, you said I need to, so I was asking, do you want me to come talk to you or do I have to? Am I being detained?
Yes, sir. At this point, yes, sir.
Okay, for suspicion of what crime?
Okay, you're walking around taking pictures of police cars and so forth. You don't have any business here.
Is that illegal? Is that illegal?
It's only supposed to be police back here.
And your name, badge number?
I don't have a badge number. Sergeant Marsh.
Sergeant Marsh, okay. So you said I'm detained. And I said suspicion of what crime?
What are you doing back here?
Suspicion of what crime? What's your
I'm
Raz?
asking you a question. You need to leave, sir.
What crime have I committed?
You need to leave.
If you'd like to stand on the sidewalk and do
He
what
told
it
me
is
I
you're
have to
doing.
come here and I'm detained.
I
So
didn't say that. I didn't say that.
you said we need you to come here and you said I'm
I need to talk to
detained.
you. So I need to talk to you. If you want to go over there, take on the sidewalk, take pictures, you're more than welcome, but you can't be back here.
So the sign that says public entrance is not a public entrance?
If you have business here.
Yeah.
Do you have business here?
Am I required to answer that question?
Okay, sir. At this point, you're being asked if you want to go over and take pictures.
I know I'm being
and all
asked
that.
because you don't want to infringe on my rights, which is why you've not ordered me to, but you still have me detained. Are you going to undetain me or am I still
You're
detained?
not detained.
Okay.
You're more than free, but you
I can do what I want. Thanks. It's a public.
Sir, you can go on the sidewalk and take pictures.
You have to stay
can't
on
do
the
that here.
sidewalk.
Where's the sign that says it's authorized personnel only? There's actually a sign in here that says public parking right here.
Sergeant Marsh approached and told Mr. Press he was trespassing because the lot was meant for officers and that he was being detained, though Marsh later said Mr. Press could keep filming from the sidewalk if he left the lot. So was it trespassing? North Carolina has two trespass laws. First-degree trespass, Section 14, 159.12, covers enclosed or secured areas and buildings. An open parking lot posted with a public parking sign isn't that, so first degree is off the table. Second-degree trespass, Section 14, 159.13, is the closer fit. It applies when someone stays on another's property after being told to leave. And yes, government property still counts as the premises of another. There's a North Carolina case people point to here, State versus Hahn from 2022. But two things matter about it. One, it's an unpublished opinion, which means it's not binding precedent. Two, the person in that case wasn't just standing there, he was loudly disrupting a business after repeated warnings, and even then, the jury acquitted him of the trespassing charge. So the honest read is this: if Mr. Press had refused to leave after a lawful order, a trespass theory becomes possible, but it's nowhere near a sure thing.
You tell me I'm detained in a public parking lot with no signs, that's bullcrap, back off.
Well, sir, you need to understand.
I don't need to do crap. You detained me for
Sir, you
nothing.
need to leave the parking lot.
Give me your supervisor.
I am the supervisor.
Give me your supervisor, the LT. This is bullcrap.
I don't want to do it.
Notice I'm not talking to either of you guys this
yeah.
way. I'm not talking to either of you guys this way. I'm talking to him this way.
I understand.
You have no signs that say no trespassing, and it freaking says public entrance. You cannot detain me for videotaping.
I didn't
But why were
detain
you
you.
all in that car?
I wasn't in a car. If you find evidence of me being in a car, then bring me in and Raz and detain me and we'll talk.
And that's why we started speaking with you because of that. Because
You can't detain me to figure out if I committed a crime. You're a freaking sergeant.
Yes, sir, we can.
No, you cannot.
Mr. Press told the sergeant he couldn't be detained just to figure out whether he'd committed a crime. That's a popular belief in the auditing world, and it isn't quite right. Under the Terry doctrine, officers can briefly detain someone to investigate when they have reasonable, articulable suspicion that criminal activity may be afoot, even when each thing they noticed is innocent on its own. The Supreme Court said exactly that in Illinois versus Wardlow, and again in United States versus Arvizu. Ordinary lawful behavior can still add up to enough for a brief investigative stop. So the blanket claim that police can never detain you to investigate is simply false. The real question was never whether they can detain to investigate, it's whether they had a good enough reason this time.
I seen you and I called my sergeant.
And that's why I got
But
out.
that's what you need to articulate. You didn't do that until now. He was telling me that I was suspicious because I was filming around vehicles, but he doesn't get to detain me because I'm filming. I don't care how suspicious it looks. You will not get my name. I am not trespassing, and I will not leave. You know, if you guys have signs up that says this is a trespassed area, authorized personnel only, you got gates up, of course I can't come in.
Well, usually,
He's making up laws.
like I was saying, usually it is. We only allow police cars and people back here, but due to the front lobby, people do come, public citizens.
Right.
They do come back.
Which is
here.
why I'm here.
Yeah, I understand.
Try to be
What's
as
the
reserved as I
reason
can.
That you were looking all in the car.
Okay. You told me that you have Raz that I was breaking and entering or potentially committing a crime. Therefore, I'm not answering any of your questions. Am I being detained by you? Okay, thank you.
And that's where it gets thin for the officers. One officer suggested the suspicion came from Mr. Press looking into the windows of the parked police vehicles, but courts have generally held that simply looking into parked cars with nothing more doesn't rise to reasonable suspicion. It's too ordinary, too easily innocent. Reasonable suspicion is always a totality of the circumstances call, decided case by case, and the fact that these were police vehicles could factor in. Still, based on how similar cases have gone, a court would most likely find the officers didn't have enough to detain him.
Doing pretty good.
Okay.
Tell him at the sergeant. These two folks are incredibly professional.
Good enough.
He hasn't escalated a single thing. She said she had Raz me breaking into a freaking car. She was very polite at first. Once he escalated, she jumped on the bandwagon. But generally, they've been good.
Okay.
He is a train wreck. How you just treated me was a train wreck. I should say that. I don't know you, Sergeant Marsh, so I shouldn't have said that. I apologize. All right?
Basically, I was told by Officer Delgado that he was actually looking at vehicles, possibly breaking into cars. That's why he's here.
He didn't tell me that. He didn't say that's his Raz. I said, you got Raz, detain me. And he said, you were filming, walking around cars. So,
Let's go and remove him from the situation,
okay.
right?
All right.
Okay, so moving forward, how can we do something for you here? You can
Allow me to
film
go
all
by
you want in
visit.
the back lot.
Thank
you. Know
you.
what I mean? If you need paperwork, tell me what you need. We'll
All
try
right.
to get it for you. They're going to close pretty soon.
Understood. Yeah.
You know what I mean?
I'm good to go.
Huh?
I'm just here to quietly exercise my rights and not be impeded
Okay.
and not be detained. We good?
More power to you.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Thanks, Lieutenant.
Yes, sir.
Take care.
You're safe.
Peace. Keep it up, bro.
Here's the turn. Lieutenant Beckmer arrived, and instead of automatically backing his officers, he told Mr. Press he was free to keep filming the lot and even offered to help. Mr. Press got the incident number, went back to City Hall to update his records request, and the situation simply resolved. No arrest, no escalation. Look at what each person here got right and wrong, because that's the whole lesson. The auditor was respectful and stood up for a real right, but he overstated the law, repeating a myth that police can never detain you to investigate. Sergeant Marsh stayed professional and called a supervisor the moment he was asked, but he reached for a detention before he had the suspicion to justify it, and he misread his own state's trespass law. Neither of them is a villain. They're two people operating on a shaky understanding of a genuinely complicated area of law. And then there's Lieutenant Beckmer. He did the hardest thing to do in a uniform. He looked at a fellow officer's call, decided it was wrong, and corrected it, in the citizen's favor, on camera, without ego. He didn't close ranks. He didn't split the difference to save face. He protected a right that wasn't being violated on purpose so much as by misunderstanding. That isn't weakness, and it isn't disloyalty. It's the exact thing that keeps trust between police and the public from breaking. A badge doesn't make the decision. The person behind it does. And on this day, the one who got it right was the officer willing to tell his own side they'd gotten it wrong. That's the story out of Burlington, North Carolina. Proof that good policing isn't the exception. It's a choice officers make every single day. Subscribe, stay sharp, and remember, accountability works both ways. I'll see you in the next story.